cruise. I was younger or whatever. I was on a cruise with my family, and it was this girl I kind of liked, but I wasn't really pressing her like that. And she somehow met my family because my family was cool with her family or something. And her mom or someone was like, oh, I see you gonna mess with the son, like joking or something. And in front of my mom, she was like, oh no, he's not my type. I like 6'5", whoop whoop, strong, cause I was real small at the time. So she was like, my ex was he in the NFL or some shit like that, right? So she was like, I'm in no way attracted to your son. Like straight said it to my mom, so I was like, bet. Man, I told that girl all night, and then the next morning, my brother had like walked out. She was like topping me off on the front deck, and then like the whole rest of the cruise, I just stopped talking to her, but she was following me around. So my mom saw it, like, cause like at dinner she would like come by and like, hey, just wanted to say hey to your family, blah blah. But I like wasn't giving her no more time of day. And my mom was like, that shit was crazy. What did you do to that girl? I'm like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Back at it again. Back at it like a crack addict. Drunk Tours podcast in the building. It's your boy Yates from Atlanta, aka Wakanda.
I'm your other host Jerell from Portland, Oregon. You already know.
What we talking about today, my guy?
Today we talking about what is good game and what is bad game. In the sense of hollering at a woman.
Oh, okay.
You know, what would you consider bad game? Let's start off with what's bad game first. Like, what do you think is a bad thing? What's a bad move that a lot of dudes do, you think, when it comes to talking to women?
I think a bad move is like, it's funny because anything that could be a bad move can also be a good move depending on the girl. But I think the main bad move is just being like probably disrespectful with your approach, as far as like not considerate of their space or their time or whatever, and just like, you know.
Like you see him on the phone or something talking to somebody already, and you're like, hey, can I holler at you? And you're like, I'm on the phone. Like,
yeah, just well, I'll say it like this, where you look like you haven't done this before. Like anytime I see a dude walk up to a woman and start talking and appear as though he's not comfortable or he's not used to this atmosphere of just holding the conversation, that's what I would say is like shitty. Like just because right away you know like I'm really throwing the Hail Mary right now and I'm hoping it work out. You know what I mean? Like that's hella different from like, okay, look, I'm gonna just shoot my shot. We just see how it go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think is bad guy?
I think bad game is kind of like what you were saying yesterday, the inability to read the room. I think that has to do with like lack of awareness of just the situation. Because I believe that any man can get any woman at the right time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like that.
I want to say any man.
I think any man.
I think any man that is a man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, any man has the capability if he does it right. You know what I'm saying?
I think it matters though, because it's like, if you just like if you a guy who can't speak to women, right. Like not even saying you a player or nothing, it's just like you can't comfortably talk to attractive women. Like they can't do it. It don't matter what position or, because you're saying like at the right time anybody can do it. Like anybody that's just confident in themselves, I feel like can get any woman at the right time.
Okay, we'll get that. You gotta have the bare necessity of knowing how to pick up.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta be at a certain level.
You gotta have at least, like, you talk to women. A person who talks to women can get any woman with the right time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So with that, like, I think, like, you know, inability to read the room, like you said, like you see she's on the phone or maybe she's looking at you and she's kind of batting her eyes, but she may be at work and she may be helping customers, and you're kind of like, you know, you're not allowing the other coworkers or the customers to kind of get away, to kind of get her alone time to where she can feel comfortable giving you her number or talking to you without feeling like people are in her business and stuff like that. Or, like, so I just.
Or even just like you were saying, the scenario you describing where she's looking at you, and it's like that to a degree is an invite, but in the way you approach with that invite, it'll tell a lot. So like if we looking back and forth at each other, and it's like we obviously both interested, and I approach you and I'm like, you staring hard as hell. You know what I mean?
That's how I used to be.
It just depends on the type of woman. Like some girls, I am but some girls will be like, oh, okay, this nigga.
That was a little too hard.
And you gotta be able, when you say read the room, like it's not one facet. It's multifaceted. Like
Right.
it's okay. Like she seems very serious, so let me not do too much. Or she seemed like the playful type. Let me come in with a joke, or let me play this mysterious, or but being able to like.
I think being
adapt.
observant will help to
Yes.
be like an observance or observation, whatever. I feel like would lead to bad game because, like you said, like if I see like before I come talk to this lady and she's like kind of interacting with her friends or interacting with whoever she's at in that environment. Like, if I see she's like a little loud and she's like real playful, like you said, like maybe she's cussing and stuff like that, like, and I kind of see her and I go and approach her, like that would be the time I feel like okay, I can use that language, like not like cussing, but like that language or that frequency that she's on as far as like her attitude and her energy, like match. Like the energy that she's getting off. If you see she's quiet reading a book, you ain't gonna come over there and like, hey, what I mean?
Just adapt. And that's a big thing that people don't think about. It's just being able to pivot. Like I think that's probably the biggest key to any success in anything is being able to be comfortable in every situation. Like it's different when it's like, cause everybody has a type that they know they're good at. I feel like any guy who's comfortable talking to women, they know what they have the highest success rate at. Like the type of girl, like, whatever that may be per person. But when you when you recognize the person you're interested in is different from what usually works, being able to adapt your plan, like it's a big step. Like you need that. Otherwise you look stupid a lot of times.
Yeah.
Like, and those are usually the funny times when somebody's a one trick pony and they're like, hey, but even with them, they win because they just play the numbers game. So they just be like, look, I know this recipe work. If I shoot at 20 girls, one girl gonna go for it, and that's cool for people like that. But I feel like the best thing you can do is be able to at least have a good conversation with everybody. You might not be able to close every time, but you will never be embarrassed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can always maneuver.
Yeah.
From there.
I mean, if you come with some substance, I feel like you can't really lose. Like you may not get the ultimate goal, like you said, but I mean, you may not be actually out of the race either because depending on where this woman is, like you might see her again, you may have another opportunity. So even if you just come correct, like that's enough to where you can live another day to possibly still get her number, still get her information. But since we've obviously gone away from the bad game and obviously talking about what's good, so like what now, being able to pivot, being a quick thinker, I think recognizing when to be persistent and recognizing when to lay off, because I feel like some girls be like, oh yeah, when we tell y'all no, it means no, and it's like, yeah, like some hard no's are kind of obvious, like, but sometimes women are real, like they're real real stealthy when it comes to like how they want you to continue, because I've gotten women number like who like didn't show me that much attention at first, and it wasn't like she was like go away. Usually like if I'm trying to holler, like you have to tell me like yo buzz off type shit, like you know what I mean? Like it's gonna have to be on some like not like I'm gonna nag you, but I gotta really know that if I'm interested in you and I'm really trying to holler, like I gotta really know like I'm really out, like it's really like a no go. You know what I'm saying? Like usually if a woman's like, oh I gotta do it, it's kind of like even if she don't gotta do it, that's like the go-to when they trying to let you know like I don't want to talk to you, because most women assume that when they say that dudes is gonna be like I'm cool. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like when dudes keep going like, oh we can still be friends or we can blah blah blah, like that's when it starts to push into like you start getting pushy and stuff. But if it's kind of like on some like you ask her like her name and she's kind of just short about it and you're like where you from, she's just short with it, it's not like she's telling you to go, but she's just waiting on you to make the conversation a little bit deeper, make the conversation a little bit
make it worth her time.
Exactly, rather than just keep asking her some short ass dumb questions that most dudes probably ask her all the time.
I was just thinking about this while you were talking. When I asked, because I was like, well, how would I handle that? Because you know how you do stuff and you never really think about it. I realized it's how we were saying different types of approaches. Like the way I'm gonna approach a girl who we're having like constant, like we catching each other's eye to a degree where it's like they showing their interest from afar without saying or do anything. The body language, the eye, like we're catching each other's eye and we're like, okay, she's interested. Let me just go approach her. That I'll be more forward with them. But like, let's say if I just find a woman attractive and we haven't really caught each other's eye and I'm just gonna cold approach her, it's like a lot of times I'll come in with something that's not too forward, where it's like I can kind of start to feel, okay, how should I go? You know, so if it's something like, give me a scenario, any scenario, like a place or a time or anything.
Girl is waiting in the grocery line right in front of you.
Okay,
it's not her turn, but she's like just waiting in front of you.
Cool. So I'm like right behind her or something. We like up there by like the candy or something.
Yeah.
All right, like I'll grab 2 pieces of candy, like Skittles and a Snicker, and be like, I know this is crazy, but which one of these you think would be better? And like smile and try to see if they laugh or something. If they just like
I don't eat candy.
Yeah, if they something like that, it's like, okay, boom. She probably ain't going for it too much. I might have to come in light, and then I might be able to apologize. Like, I'm sorry if I was bothering you. I'm just gonna get both, you know, whatever. Like, you can always kind of play it out, and then you can sit there and be like, okay, am I gonna try to pay for the groceries? Am I gonna try to see if she got something heavy I can help carry? Am I just gonna not say it? You know, you could kind of play it a little smoother, but like, it's different when they see you, you see them. They seem somewhat open to it. It's like, boom, you just be like, hey, look, I find you extremely attractive. My name, boom, boom, and just go straight in. But if it's like they don't see whatever, you just like, man, that bitch fine. I gotta say something. Sometimes you can come in forward, and sometimes I'll play it more so because it depends on the place. Mm-hmm. Because I try to see how open they are to the idea of it. Like if I grab a Snickers and a Skittles, and I'm a Snickers and a Skittles, and I'm like, hey, which one of these you think would be better? And then they're like, go with the Skittles, dog. Like, I'm gonna get you one too. And I'm gonna get her some Skittles. So now when I'm in line, she's gonna be waiting for a Skittle. Boom. Man, let me help you carry this to the car. But the whole time we're walking, where you from, bro? Now you naturally, and it's an organic situation where both of us are comfortable.
And you're adding value already.
You see what I'm saying? And it's not like you even had to spend $1.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But I'm just saying, just you got her something that she likes. Obviously, you know, right. She said I love these or whatever, or something. So it's obviously you starting off on the right track of getting her something she like or doing something.
And then you can be like, what's your favorite candy or something? Mm-hmm. And they tell you, then you lock that in like for the first date, right? Mm-hmm. So you get the number, boom, boom. And then when you bring the flowers on the first day, you bring the favorite candy. Like, I ain't want to get you Skittles. You said
he listens.
Hey, 2 days, bro. I told you 2 days.
Hey, if you a dude out here, man, go ahead and send a cash out, man, for that game right there. You feel me?
Hey, 2 days. 2 days. I'm telling you, 2 days.
All right. So let's get into a little story thing. What do you think is like what's the time like when you feel like the wildest time you got a number? Like on some name a time like where like you got a number like just like on some humbug shit, but it was just something different or just, you know.
I remember this was a girl that I was younger this time, but I remember I was on a cruise. I was younger or whatever. I was on a cruise with my family, and it was this girl I kind of liked, but I wasn't really pressing her like that. And she somehow met my family because my family was cool with her family or something. And her mom or someone was like, oh, I see you gonna mess with the son, like joking or something. And in front of my mom, she was like, oh no, he's not my type. I like 6'5", woo, strong, cause I was real small at the time. So she was like, my ex he in the NFL or some shit like that, right? So she was like, I'm in no way attracted to your son. Like straight said it to my mom, so I was like, bet. Man, I told that girl all night, and then the next morning, my brother had like walked out. She was like topping me off on the front deck, and then like the whole rest of the cruise, I just stopped talking to her, but she was following me around. So my mom saw it, like, cause like at dinner she would like come by and be like, hey, just wanted to say hey to your family, blah blah. But I like wasn't giving her no more time of day. And my mom was like, that shit was crazy. What did you do to that girl? I'm like, I don't know. But all I did was talk to her, you know.
So like, how did like walk us through like what like after you heard all that she said about that, like how did you actually like approach her at that point?
So she thought I was gonna be mad because she tried the fuck out of me in front of my family, right? So she was like, I ain't mean it in a bad way. I was like, you're not my type either. She was like, what, man, you crazy? Yeah, I know you like me. I was like, no, like, I found you attractive, but, you know, you just don't really seem to have any depth. She was like, I don't have any depth. What do you mean? You don't have any depth. And I was like, you know what? I haven't really asked you any questions. Like, can I get to know you? She was like, shut up, you crazy. I'm like, all right, well, I apologize. went and like got some juice or something. She got some juice. Like, I mean, what you wanna know? So I was like, what's your deepest fear? Went down the club, went down the depths, and next thing you know, I was in the childhood traumas and everything, like crying and everything. I'm comforted. And I was like, she was like, man, you could. And then you know what really piped it up? No, I remember I got head the next night. But what piped it up the next day when I saw her, she was like, oh my God, I dreamed about you last night. I was like, what? She's like,
oh, wow.
Wet dream.
Oh, wow.
I used to get that a lot. Like, a deep
You
conversation.
think she was dead ass?
Yeah, I used to get that a lot. Like, bro, I'm telling you, I used to get that a lot. That's when I used to know I was in there.
Like, in their mind, deep.
That's when I would chill, too. I would really, like, I wouldn't even be trying to fuck. I, like, the long game, because they just be wanting it so bad, bro. I'm telling you. That's really one of the keys to, like, late night talks on the phone. Like, if you can really talk, and you can like not, cause it's like it's this it's this thin line between being a friend and being somebody they really want to fuck. Like you can't be too you can't
go watch the Friend Zone episode.
You can't be too far into the like supporting too much. You gotta be more.
I'm not your pal.
Right.
I'm your daddy. You
right. You really just want to be like observant of their emotions and their psychology and who they are as a person, and get them to question themselves more, not by leading them, just by question. Not saying, well, I think this about you. I think just asking why, how, like the deeper questions, like, well, why do you feel that way? How did that make you feel? Well, what do you think made you like this? Why do you think this way? Like, you do that deep enough to where people are, when they hang up the phone, like, I didn't know this about myself. Right. That makes
and especially like I feel like that's also a key to good game is just being creative and just showing the woman something different.
But then from that,
I feel like that's because the fact that she's thinking about that, not even the fact that is the fact that you had deep questions is also because of the fact that men don't always ask those questions. So obviously you get in her mind, it's like, okay, this person's actually getting to know me, but it's also the fact that this man actually just took time to actually just ask me questions in general. Because some dudes, like, they don't even, it's not even the fact that they don't ask deep questions or ones that matter, it's like they don't even be getting to know the woman at all. Like, they don't even, some dudes get on dates and they talk about themselves the whole time. Or, or they just talk about something that's super, like commercialized in general,
But the other side to that, because that's one side, that's like the big key gonna put you in the game to a degree where they want you around,
right?
But that doesn't make them want to fuck you all the time. So in the same space of being super open and being accepting and non-judgmental and understanding of who they are, you have to introduce a side of yourself that's more aggressive sexually, where it's like, we going from deepest fears to like, what's your fantasy, and you gotta be open to whatever they say, and then present yours. You gotta a lot of times girls would say stuff that's like, oh yeah, I done did that hella times, and they're like, what do you mean? Now it's like this door done open where it's like, I can not only introduce you to this deeper level of yourself, like mentally, we can do that sexually too. And now that transitions it from just a good conversation.
No, go ahead.
To an energy connection. And that's like when people say like, I want a vibe, you know what I mean? But people can't really describe it. Like, what is a vibe? When a girl say I want a vibe,
it's like, I feel like it's something, just being, I felt like being carried throughout the things that you enjoy already. Because I mean, a vibe to you is going to be whatever that you enjoy. So I just feel like, it's like, I need somebody to bring a vibe. It's like, that means you probably want somebody to bring you the energy and the frequency that you want and bring you to do does things that you enjoy and helps bring that out of you. Playing woman's advocate, if I'm watching this and they hear that, like just talking about getting deeper questions and hollering at a woman, sorry, hollering at them, like, do you, like, is that, at what point do you feel like it's manipulating, and what point do you feel like it's just getting to know somebody? Because obviously you can say that by asking deep questions is why, like, the woman share her body with you or sexually engage with you. But at the same time, some women that may watch, like, I'm not a woman, obviously, I don't know, but there's always another side. Somebody looks at things, but look at it as in okay,
you tricking them into
them
giving
into
you.
yeah.
See, I would say that one is not tricking because you're in no way being a fake person to get it. I genuinely would always be interested,
Right.
because like I've had those situations with women where, you know, I heard things that I was no longer interested in them. You know what I mean? Not like because of past traumas or anything. Usually it'd be something religious. Like I found out she's satanic or something. You know what I mean? Which just isn't aligned with who I am. And it's like, and those would be the ones who's super freaky. Like, yeah, you know, before when we started talking, be super sexual, boom, boom, and get into deep conversations of why are you like this, why are you like, and then it get down to some, oh, religiously, I need to be this way, and I'm trying to introduce you to this lifestyle. And then, like, I was like, oh, okay, you know, I'm not interested in that, but I can still, and they still don't feel attacked or hurt, or I come off as an asshole. It's like, you know, it's just not quite aligned with what I'm trying to do. And, you know, I respect your views, it's just not aligned with mine. You know what I mean? And that can save you, like, having an honest conversation can save you from so much, because even if you, from no matter what, you know what box to put somebody in after. Like,
Yeah.
but the manipulation, you said, why is it not, to me, why is it not manipulation? I would say because, one, it's genuine, and two, I'm not trying to trick you into giving me pussy. I'm trying to present to you all of the reasons I have that make me a dope ass dude that you don't know before the conversation, to present you with, like, put all my shit on the table, like, this is why I'm dope. Now, if you want to give me some pussy, cool. I'm not over here trying to take it.
But here's my thing. Is it really manipulating even if you aren't genuine?
You know what manipulation is?
Getting somebody to do what you want.
But you
or
know,
getting somebody to change their mind. Or really, that's a more simple.
The craziest part about manipulation that people never talk about is willingness in manipulation. Manipulation is, I'm going to give you something that you want for a lot more of something I want. But people like to ignore the I'm giving you something, because nobody can manipulate you if they don't give you anything.
Right, that's true.
The thing is, it's different on scale. Like, I'm giving you a little bit, you giving me a lot, and that's when they like, this is wrong. It's like, you accepted that little for the lot.
And that's the part that I was really trying to get to, is like, is it manipulation or tricking them if you aren't genuine? Because let's say I'm a dude, I'm talking to this woman that I meet, and I'm strictly like, yo, I'm just trying to fuck, like, and that's the only thing that's on my mind. Like, I'm getting to know her on the level because I know that that's probably what she wants. So if I'm asking her questions, and I may not be like, man, I'm just hella interested, just tell me more. Like, it's not like that I'm not interested, but it's not the main thing I'm after is knowing that. It's obviously the sex. So if I'm asking those questions, but it's actually helping you find some self-discovery, and it's making the woman feel good about herself. And then she gives you pussy, and it's kind of like, well, I don't want anything out of this. It's not like you necessarily say like, yo, I want to be your man, and then like, I feel like that's more like some manipulative stuff, because then it's kind of like, okay, I said I want to be your man, and you gave me some pussy, and I'm like, I don't want to be your man type shit. But like, and then it's kind of like, okay, well, you play me in the sense of what you said you wanted, what you want. But if it didn't get to that conversation, but you just asked her, that's kind of like is it manipulating? Because it's kind of like you don't really know.
Going down the wormhole, brother. you gonna drive yourself crazy. This is the real reality. This is what I would always ask people. When you around, are they happier? If they are happier when you're around than when you're not there, you presented yourself in a way that looks good. It makes them comfortable. It makes them feel good. Now, if when you leave, they're no longer happy, it's time for them to deal with themselves and see if they should be dealing with. No, I'm joking. That's like that. But it's true. It's like, and I've dealt with people and I'm straight up been like, yo, like, this not going nowhere. Like, up front. Like, right, like, before I smacked, like, look, this ain't going on. Because I already told you I had a legitimate test, and I would give everybody a test, and if they failed, I would, because I could be completely in love with you on the very first time we linked. Like, when I first meet you, I fall in love real fast. Yeah. So as soon as I get the number, I could be in love, but you failed this test, like, it's over with. Quick, a little short, now it's just for me. And I would tell them, like, yo, I care about you, but I don't think it's gonna turn into a relationship. And everybody will be like, okay, all right. Because in their mind, they're like, you love me and I love you. I can tell by the way you act. And I'm going to continue to act. Like, I'm not going to treat you like shit because we're not going to turn into a relationship. I'm going to treat you like we're in a relationship. I'm just not going to commit to you like we're in a relationship.
Right.
And that's what some people in my past would say was manipulative.
You're right, because it's like I'm over here making me feel like I'm the only woman in the world, but I'm not.
Yeah, but I would never lie.
But he never let them think that they were, though. Yeah, that's a fact. But I'm like, that's not, it's like, that's not manipulation. That's just a cold ass nigga. That's just a plan. No, I'm just playing. That's just, that's just somebody who's just being honest and real but being still likable enough to where they still want to be engaged. And I feel like that's what I feel like good game, quote unquote, is too.
It's just being a good person,
yeah,
being somebody you want around. Mm-hmm. Like anybody I deal with, I guarantee you're gonna continue to want me around no matter what. I know that I bring that to the table of being because I pivot, like we were saying. I'm gonna find where your weak spots are, and I'm gonna fill those. I'm gonna make you better. I'm gonna help you grow, and I'm gonna look for ways you can help me grow. And from that space, either we're gonna grow together or we're gonna go apart. But either way, we're growing. Right. And you never gonna be like, damn, this nigga was bringing me down. Mm-hmm.
But shit, man, that's gonna do it for this episode.
Before we close, we gotta get a little more of your view. I know we running low on time.
Yeah, we like it's quick. Camera's probably gonna cut off. So
quick. What is one of your best moves that you did to like get a number?
See, I gotta
get a number.
It's gonna take time for me to kind of think about it now. I'm not really on that mindset now. I mean, we can make it turn into something else out of that. But
I'm interested. I want to hear it. I want them to hear it. You got me.
Hey, maybe on the next episode you might find out.
People gonna start saying I'm manipulative.
Drunk Tours podcast. You know what I mean? Quick little, well, I want a quick episode, and it ain't little, but quick episode about what's good game, bad game, in our opinion. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, share it to all your friends, your family, everything.
For sure.
Tap in.